Marketing messaging is huge. It determines if you will succeed in marketing because messaging is what connects with your audience. Which brings me to number one, biggest mistake is not knowing their audience. This is huge. You must know your audience. And in order to know your audience, you have to define who they are. And it can't just be like people with money or people in this age group, or you have to get clear. You have to get specific. Who is my avatar? Maybe give them a name. What do they like? What do they dislike? What stage are they at in their life? What are some of the things that they're thinking right now? Sometimes we get a little too concerned about marketing speak and not speaking directly to the consumer and where they're at. In mortgage world, I see a lot of content that is like, stop paying your landlord's mortgage. I don't know about you, but that really wouldn't motivate me. Do I really care about my landlord or my landlord's mortgage? I have to put my audience hat on. I have to be the audience when I'm reading these messages, and I have to think about what really might motivate a renter. I actually kind of feel like saying stop paying your landlord's mortgage is kind of talking down to the consumer versus helping them understand the benefits of home ownership, meeting them where they're at. Maybe if I get into the mindset when I define my audience, maybe a first-time home buyer who's, say, in their early 20s and they're renting now, they don't even think that home ownership is possible. They've heard a lot of things out there about you got to have 20% down, and it might not even be on their radar. So I have to approach it from a mindset of whatever my audience is. So when you're defining your audience, it's very important that you determine who they are, what they like, what is their mindset right now? What is it? And what are their goals? What are they trying to accomplish? You need to know all this information. Every project that you work on, you should be defining your audience, who they are, and what will connect to them, what will speak to them. And make sure that you're not using industry terms for whatever industry you're in, acronyms and things like that you know that your audience may not know. Not knowing the audience is the mistake. How we fix it is to define your audience and to get very specific about who they are and what is their mindset. When you do that, when you be the audience, you'll be able to read your content, read it out loud, I recommend, and pretend like you are that audience member. Be the audience member, and then you'll have a better idea if your message is going to connect. Number two mistake I see people making when it comes to marketing messaging is there is too much fluff. Too much fluff. I mean, sometimes it's just gross. I'm not even going to lie. I look at it and I go, what, did ChatGPT write this and just left in a bunch of flowery words? I'm going to use we've already been talking about mortgage, so I'm going to use that. It's like your home ownership journey. Unlock the keys to your new home, on your dream home, on the path. You know what? Everybody says that. Everybody says that. Quit saying fluff. Quit saying fluff and doing things like saying that why you should work with me is because I have the best customer service. Listen, everybody has the best customer service. You need messages that connect. Again, meeting the customer where they are and being clear in your message. Don't be too wordy, okay? When you're too wordy, you're just adding a lot of fluff in there that doesn't need to be there. So here's what I recommend and what has been successful for me in the past. And that is to think of your audience as a friend. Now, we've already defined our audience, so we know their mindset, who they are, where they're at in their life, and I want to meet them where they're at. So take the tone and the messaging as if they were a friend and you wanted to tell your friend about something that you're very excited about. Like you just have to tell your friend about this because they are missing out if they don't get this, fill in the blank, whatever it is. That they need to know about this because whatever this is going to solve a problem or a need that they have. So think of it like that, a friendly approach, a connecting approach, but not just boring. Remember, this is about elevating. On this channel, we teach you how to succeed in marketing by elevating for better results. So what you want to do is have messaging that is clear, that is concise, but is also exciting and stands out and cuts through the crowd. Focus on the details that are the most important and don't get involved in a lot of fluffy marketing and adding a lot of, this mobile app is so great. Well, if it is great, then you got to define why it's great. I see a lot of words like great and excellent and I'm excited and then there's this nothing. It's just boring. It's just mediocre. You got to be clear. You got to be concise. You got to meet the customer where they're at. And you got to cut through with dynamic messaging. Hooks. If you don't know what a hook is going to be that thing, that message, that first touch point that's going to draw them in. You think, oh, I need to read more about this. So it's important to have hooks in your marketing messaging. And also, a lot of times we like to lead with ourselves. And again, when we lead with what we're about, then we're not meeting the customer where they're at. We're not thinking of our audience. We need to be thinking of what the audience wants to hear, wants to know, needs, how it's going to solve their problem, and lead with that as the hook. Marketing message mistake number 3 is either no call to action or a weak call to action. Okay, this is problematic. If you're the person out there who wants to succeed in marketing by elevating, you got to have a pretty compelling call to action. A lot of times I see this mediocre approach to call for more information. I mean, you better have some pretty stellar information, some stellar hooks, some stellar marketing message if you're going to close with a mediocre call for more information. So let's think about what some good call to actions might be. I like things like, a QR code to download something for free or to get a special coupon or a special offer. Anything that you can do that's a click, that's measurable, go to this website, enter this form, click this button, that's going to give you a way to measure your results. So make sure, I actually see marketing pieces all the time out there floating in the sphere that have no call to action. Or sometimes I'll see something like there's a call to action, like hey, get the look, and then there's no link to get the look. How am I supposed to get the look if I don't have the link? So make sure that your call to action is specific. Make sure that it is compelling. I like call to actions that are trackable. When we have trackable call to actions, then we know how effective our marketing piece was. And of course, you're going to want to make it easy for your customer. No matter what your call to action is, make it easy for them to click the button, click the link, scan the QR code. People don't like to jump through a lot of hoops, so the easier you can make it for your customer, the more successful you'll be. Okay, so I have a call to action for you right now. It's an easy one. Don't worry. Click the link in the description below to get my free download checklist. It's the 10 things you need to succeed in marketing. You're not going to want to miss this because if you're here on this channel, I know you have tenacity. I know you want to fight the enemy of mediocrity just like me. I know you want to succeed in marketing. So go ahead and click that button. Be sure to stay tuned for my next video. If you're just starting out in your marketing career, or maybe you're midway in your career, you're trying to level up and you want to have compelling dynamic programs that get results, you're not going to want to miss this video coming up now.